On a quiet stretch of highway outside Austin, the late afternoon sun burned low over the asphalt. Cars sped by, but none stopped for the teenage girl standing beside a white SUV with a shredded tire. Except one. A dusty blue pickup rolled onto the shoulder. Behind the wheel was Daniel Ruiz, a 38-year-old mechanic, single father, and owner of a struggling two-bay garage called Ruiz Auto Repair in a small town outside San Antonio. Daniel wasn't dressed like a hero. Grease-stained jeans, faded work boots, world's okayest dad cap his 8-year-old son had given him. But he saw the girl wiping her tears, and he pulled over without hesitation. A simple act of kindness. "You okay, kiddo?" Daniel asked gently. The girl, maybe 16, nodded but clearly wasn't. Her phone battery had died. She didn't know how to change a tire. And the nearest town was miles away. "My mom's going to freak out," she whispered. Daniel knelt beside the SUV and assessed the damage. "Blowout. Bad one. Good news," he said with a small grin. "I know a thing or two about tires." Within 15 minutes, he had the spare mounted and properly secured. He even checked the other 3 tires. "You were driving on low pressure," he explained. "That's probably what caused it." The girl looked embarrassed. "I don't really know anything about cars." "That's all right," Daniel said kindly. "Nobody's born knowing. You learn." When she asked how much she owed him, he shook his head. "Nothing. Just promise me you'll get those tires checked tomorrow." She insisted on at least getting his name. Daniel, Ruiz Auto Repair. She typed it carefully into her phone once it powered back on using his charger. Then she drove off. Daniel didn't think about it again. Until the next morning. The phone call. At 9:17 a.m., while Daniel was under a Ford F-150 replacing brake pads, his shop phone rang. "Ruiz Auto." A calm, composed female voice replied. "Is this Daniel Ruiz?" "Yes, ma'am. This is Victoria Hale." The name meant nothing to him. But it meant everything to Texas. Victoria Hale was the founder and CEO of Hale Tech Industries, a multi-billion-dollar tech manufacturing company headquartered in Dallas. She'd been featured on the cover of Forbes twice. Known as one of the most powerful women in American business. And the teenage girl Daniel had helped. Her daughter. "You stopped. My daughter told me what you did," Victoria said. Daniel suddenly became very aware of the oil on his hands. "I just changed a tire, ma'am." "No," she replied. "You stopped." There was a pause. She said at least 20 cars drove past her. She was scared. "You didn't hesitate." Daniel swallowed. "Well, I've got a son," he said softly. "I'd hope someone would stop for him." On the other end of the line, Victoria Hale was quiet. Then she asked a question he never expected. "How is your business doing, Mr. Ruiz?" He hesitated. It wasn't great. The shop's lift was failing. Rent had gone up. He'd been putting off repairs because he couldn't afford downtime. He worked 12-hour days and still worried about making payroll for his one employee. But pride made him answer carefully. "We manage." Victoria didn't miss the tone. The visit. 2 days later, 3 black SUVs pulled into the gravel lot outside Ruiz Auto Repair. Out stepped Victoria Hale herself, tailored suit, composed posture, presence that commanded attention. But when she saw Daniel, she smiled warmly. "You're exactly how my daughter described you." She toured the small shop. Noted the aging equipment, the patched roof, the outdated diagnostic computer. "You helped my daughter without asking who she was," she said finally. Daniel shrugged. "Didn't matter. It matters to me." The call that changed everything. 1 week later, Daniel received official documents. Hale Tech Industries had launched a new community initiative, funding small, honest businesses in rural Texas. Ruiz Auto Repair was the first recipient. Victoria didn't give him money. She did something more powerful. Paid for brand new state-of-the-art lifts and equipment. Covered 6 months of operating expenses. Funded business training and marketing support. Provided a full scholarship fund in Daniel's son's name for local trade school students. And she made one request. Keep being the man who stops. Full circle. 6 months later, Ruiz Auto Repair had doubled its staff. Daniel started offering free monthly car care workshops for teenagers, especially girls who, like Victoria's daughter, had never been taught basic vehicle safety. One afternoon, that same white SUV pulled into the lot. The teenage girl stepped out, this time smiling confidently. "I can change my own tire now," she announced proudly. Daniel laughed. "That's what I like to hear." Behind her, Victoria Hale watched quietly. A billionaire, a mechanic, a flat tire, And one simple choice on the side of a Texas highway that proved something powerful. Character doesn't show up when cameras are rolling. It shows up when no one is watching. And sometimes, the smallest act of kindness changes everything. 1500 WAD.